on YouTube.
Are we live?
I don't know. I was on Twitch for whatever reason because I'm a fucking bot. Oops. Sorry. Should not cuss.
Oh,
Viewers still alive? I was on Twitch for whatever reason because I'm a fucking bot.
I believe we're live.
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Make sure you mute your if you keep it up.
Yeah, I was just seeing if we had audio. Sweet. How do I move this chat to the other side of my screen? I know there's a way. Well, anyhow, appearance maybe. I don't want the I want to chat on the other side of my screen so it's easier to see just in the event that anyone shows up.
Right.
I know there's a way to do it too. I don't have alerts on this channel. I kind of forgot about those. I wonder if I can add them real quick. Alert box, cool. Alright, I think I have alerts. I guess we'll find out if we get any viewers. No, not what I wanted to do. Alright, well, I know that there is a button, very simple button for moving the chat to the other side of the screen. Oh well, I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Well, here we go. I will actually be muting my mic momentarily while I get the airbrush out for a few minutes. What are you working on?
All right. So tonight I'm working on the Alt Sculpt Sworn Sword Captain because he's looking pretty cool. I got two of them, and I got two more mount vets, and like actually got the Pike Captain, or not the Pike Captain, but the Pike Banner dude kind of sitting to the side here. And then I also have a Skitarii Marshal if I can get to it that is all primed up and could be painted on. So got a few things.
Okay, I am gonna airbrush Hulkbuster, Rocket, and Groot, and then I may finish my highlights on my Deadpool, Green Goblin, and Lizard potentially.
Nice. So color scheme wise, I'll just talk about that really quick. before I do get going. So I'm going to do I have a Sword Captain. One's in gray, in the Gray Seer Prime. The other one is in the Wraithbone Prime. Wraithbone Primed. I'm actually going to one of the Grays here. I'm going to do in an Ultramarines blue for his cloth. I'm going to work on him, and then on the Mormont vets, the one in the Gray Seer is going to be Dark Angels green. The other one in the Wraithbone will be the Ultramarines blue, kind of for the cloth parts. I'm not sure what I'm doing on the Wraithbone uh, Sword Captain. Sorry, getting a little bright there with the light. Um, so as we're painting, we'll think about this guy.
I am going to prime everything black, and then hit it with a Zenithal of white, and then Hulkbuster will get like a metallic airbrushing over top of that yet, and then we'll go from there. I'm not real sure how I want him to look. He was supposed to be. I was supposed to do the other Iron Man first, and then the Iron Man that comes with Hulkbuster, and then Hulkbuster, but it's a combination between being impatient and not putting together the second Iron Man. I kind of forgot. And the first Iron Man has already been painted. It was painted before I got it, and then why is this needle stick through? Oh, you know what? I bet I have a size 2 needle in right now. That would make a lot more sense. But yeah, so the other Iron Man, just I didn't like the way he came out, so I just spray painted him black again. It was like
Yep,
there,
nice.
like it just out of anger. It was probably a bad idea, but whatever.
That'll happen.
That says point 0.5 on it. I need a. It's been a long time since I've done any airbrushing. I feel like for some reason I wasn't using my point 0.3, like it was bent or something. But screw it.
And I'm actually going to start on my Sworn Swords and these girls with their chainmail. I actually like doing chainmail first when we're using contrast because you can't really do contrast a second time. So I think it's always better to do like the metallics and then clean it up if you need to, if you make a mess, and then go do the contrast. Because you can always clean up that metallic if you get contrast on it, if you want to. So kind of a weird process I think you have to use sometimes when using these contrasts.
So can you hear that right now? My air compressor running.
I can hear it a little bit, but it's not actually that loud.
Okay, I'll probably just mute my mic while that's on.
Okay. Okay.
So there's something going on. I have paint coming out when I am not pulling the handle at all. I really need to invest in a better airbrush. This was like the, cheap one I could find on Amazon like years ago just to see if I even would use it and liked it and whatever. And here I am, however long later, still with this same cheap ass airbrush.
I do not have one. I'd like to maybe try one someday, but it's one of those things where it's like, I'd rather not buy one, even though I know it'd probably be a great asset.
Especially with the contrast and speed paints, being able to just highlight, you know, under the paints. Like I don't think
Yeah.
I save any time using speed paints. I just spend a lot more time prepping the model and a lot less time actually painting it.
Yeah, I would actually. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I save some time with them, but it's also like, okay, I'm gonna prep, and then you have to like I was saying, kind of have to go back sometimes in steps where you're like, okay, I'm gonna do my metallics now, and then do some cleanup because you're not gonna want like that metallic if you get some on like a cape or something.
Right, right. Groot should be a really fast paint. He's just a tree. Like he has a couple of like yellow bits of like the little light type of thingies that are supposed to be shining through.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, he's a tree. He's not even a tree. He's the trunk of a tree. Oh man, I didn't have this on camera. I thought I did. I'm sorry, everyone. So right now, I'm just really punching the blacks in everywhere. I have to really keep this model out here. It's getting a heavy coat of black on the model. Now he does have lots of nooks and crannies, which I'm probably gonna put black over him multiple times.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some water really quick.
Okay, I muted my. Am I back? Looks like I'm back. All right, I muted my mic while my air compressor was on. Dakota's away. I find it especially important to get the undersides black when I do this because the top's all going to get white anyways. So there will be a second opportunity to prime those parts. Whereas the bottom of parts shouldn't be getting a lot of white. And I really got to do a better job of keeping this out here.
What kind of black do you use in your priming?
So it's actually Vallejo's Surface Primer. Get it where the glare is not on it. There we go. Um, it's was the first one I ever bought for the airbrush, and I like it a lot. It's really flat, nice flat black. It allows for the Zenithal to really do what it's supposed to. Just gotta punch some black in to some of these spots that got missed. Trying to get it down inside the shield here. Oh, this rocket miniature was the worst thing I've ever had to put together. So the top part of his jaw, like his nose and upper jaw, was a separate piece. Why? Why? Like you couldn't have found some way to make that one piece.
It's very weird that that small of a piece would be separate. It seems like.
So they gave you two of them. I'm assuming because like they just assume half the people are going to lose that one little piece. All right. Now this smoke effect because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. At the very least, I know that it will be black. Especially the upper parts of it. The interior parts will probably get some color of some sort, but just gonna finish out punching this black in places. Oh yeah, I want to prime this guy too. Just a miniature for D&D. Actually, some of his under parts did not get all done in black. This was a 3D printed model from, I believe, Epic Miniatures. Sometimes this black primer will play tricks on your eyes. Though you'll be like, "Oh, I didn't prime this part yet," and then you realize like it's just the glare from the light that makes it look so white. All right, I think we're pretty good on black here. I'm just gonna exhaust the rest of this paint. Then grab our old friend Windex. And I need a brush. Just a junk brush. Only have a 500,000 of them around here.
I think that's another thing too that keeps me from getting an airbrush. Like I know I'm not going to take good care of it.
It's
Like not that
not
I not that I
super
wouldn't,
difficult.
but like I really feel like I would use it and then be like, oh yeah, I'll clean it, and then like not fucking clean it.
So as long as you wash out the pot well and run, I just run Windex through it. Like especially in between colors. Like I literally don't care. Just clean it out. But as long as you run Windex through it when you're done, like it's not gonna be super bad. Now, when I put this thing away for the night, I will take it apart, clean it and stuff, but it's like anything else. Once you get good at it, you can do it in just a few minutes anyways. And then put some white in here. Where's my other white? This one. Let's do 5 drops of white. I feel like this paint's all goobered up. Let's do 10 drops of white, I guess. Then we'll throw in 10 drops of airbrush thinner. If anyone's out there, the rule of thumb I've always been told is that you want the consistency of whole milk with your paints. That's pretty thin. Should be alright. Alright. Then, any part that the light. Oh wow, that just made a mess. Whatever. Any part that's going to see a lot of light is going to get lots of white. I feel like I have a lot of paint coming out of this thing when I'm not pulling back on the trigger. That's not exactly good. I wonder if I have too small of a needle in here. I don't think I do. Or if my memory serves me correctly and this needle was bent, that's why I quit using it. So like the front side of this arm here is going to be very white. The back side of it, I'm going to leave pretty dark so that it creates a natural transition. The tips of these little tree parts, like these tiny branches, are going to be really white because they're out there all by themselves. The face, the chest, it's all going to get very white. This part of this leg, the backside here, hit this shield from like the top down. And there we go. That should be pretty good on Groot. We'll get the backside of some of this, of his head. And then I'll go through before I paint this with a brush and I'll actually highlight the eyebrows, and then I'll pick out some details. The little spots that are going to be yellow on him. Now the backside of Rocket is going to get a very light white. Front side of the weapon here, the face. This arm, a little bit of the Groot that's coming down out of the ground or coming up. Interior of the weapon. Yeah. And I can't help but feel like I'm just using the wrong needle or something. Whatever. Hulkbuster time. Hulkbuster is going to get a lot of white on top. Actually, he's going to get a lot of white, period, because he's metallic, so these are going to be pretty light colors. And then we'll hit this with a very similar to what we're doing with a silver. It's like a Zenithal on the Zenithal. Even though Zenithal just means white on black, but
That right there is why I do metallics first. Totally just got some on the axe. And yep, now once that dry, I can just clean it up.
is the metallic like runnier or something than the other ones?
Well, there isn't like a specific metallic. I'm just using like a lead belcher, but
Oh, okay.
I do have it kind of thinned down because I am at the bottom of the pot, so it's thick. So I am putting it on my wet palette.
And then the parts that are going to get silver, I'm going to make very white. Yeah, I basically have to start my airbrush away from the model, or like it like spits at it beforehand, and it has like big old blotchy spots.
Yeah, your needle's probably messed up then. I
Yeah,
just I just know from we have a huge like paint sprayer that you can use on doors and stuff, and if that's messed up,
yeah. I
then you're
think
gonna.
I quit using this point .3 needle for a reason. It's just been so long. The hand that has like a little repulsor blast kind of thing. It's gonna get very white. Hmm. And then this part here, we'll get some white. Should be about it for the white. I feel like I have a lot left. Oh, this dude? Yeah, he gets it. Now, usually I like to prime these and let them set a while, like a day or so. So I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna try painting one or if we're just gonna go on to some other models here. I guess I could mess with this D&D mini first. I should have airbrushed him first though, if that was the case. So this is supposed to be a Goliath barbarian. I believe it's a Goliath barbarian. Was supposed to be his character. Rolled the craziest stats I've ever seen a rolled D&D character have.
Which campaign was this for?
So originally, I rolled this character for Bowens' campaign,
Mm.
but it was my second kind of character. It was my second character. I mean, so because I didn't know if we were gonna have enough people for that campaign, I was potentially gonna play two characters, and we had enough, so he didn't get used. So he was gonna be on the ship in our little the homebrew campaign with me and you and our
The wives.
wives. Yes.
Oh, nice.
So, maybe a place for this guy someday.
Someday he will see the light.
I want this front leg to be super white. I want this front shoulder to be super white. The face kind of needs to be, any of the skin needs to be because they have white skin. Like, what do you even call their color of skin? It's not just white, it's
It's almost like a
clear.
pit. No, it's like a he's a Goliath, correct?
Yeah, like, yes,
Is it?
pale is, I
It's like
think,
a palish bluish almost. That's what I imagine.
So his skin needs to be super white here. And we'll hit the front side of this boot just a little bit. Okay. I have some white left over. I need to hit Deadpool's rocket with some. Just a couple models that I have just sitting around here. And then we have this Iron Man who has lost a ton of detail because he's been painted so many times. I don't know. I don't know if I attempt to paint Groot in them or if I just let them chill. I have a ton of white left. Why did I mix up so much white? Does anything else need to be painted? Here's like an old Stormcrow captain or whatever. Yep, he can be white. Looks like he didn't get a very good primer coat anyways. And who knows how long this guy's been sitting on the shelf. Or is this Braun? This might be
What is it?
this one?
Oh, hold on, other camera.
Oh, this one?
That's a Stormcrow Lieutenant.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Damn
Cool
it.
model. I don't even know if I've ever used my guy of that either.
I don't want to just waste all of this white, but I kind of don't have a purpose for it. Alright. And we spray it with Windex. Windex is the poor man's airbrush thinner. But I don't actually thin the paints with it. I just use it to clean. Unless I'm trying to spray like those cheap Walmart paints, like these, what are they, folk,
Mm-hmm.
what is this, folk
Cool.
art, and then like the apple barrel, the ones, then I will thin those with Windex because I'm not using my good airbrush thinner on those things.
You've ran those through your airbrush.
Yeah, but you gotta thin the crap out of them.
What did you airbrush with those? Is my question.
Like large things, like
Oh, okay. I
terrain
could.
and stuff like
Yeah, I could.
that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I can't think
That
of any reason to use them on a model.
that actually makes sense because I'm sitting here like, what are you putting those on a model for now? Like, I did use those starting out painting because I was a noob at painting, and then I graduated to normal paints.
Graduated to not quite as big of a noob.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel watching when you look at some people paint and it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna quit forever.
Yeah, you watch some people and you're just like, what the shit did he do there? I'm like, how?
And like watch people use like oil paints and stuff, and it's like I don't even understand the basic concepts between the difference of what you're doing and what I'm doing.
Right.
I need a new bottle of Windex after how many years? Many years, many years. I finally went through almost a whole bottle of Windex. But yeah, and you spray until the comes out clear Windex, and then what do I have? I have tarnished steel, honed steel, polished steel, tarnished steel. I guess we're gonna go with a little bit of tarnished steel here. One, one drop. Give me some more. 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. I think this is a pretty thin paint anyhow, so I probably don't need much airbrush thinner. And this is going to go on Hulkbuster. We're actually going to hit a little bit of this Dr. Octopus that we have laying here. And we're going to hit this Iron Man with it. Alright. So I'm going to hit Hulkbuster just like top down, essentially. Any part that I really want to shine is going to get this pretty heavily, I think. If the whole model doesn't just get it, because it's looking pretty cool. Just coming out of here already. And it is a giant metal suit, so it kind of makes sense for the whole thing to have a shimmer to it. Except for maybe some like the darkest, deepest recesses. Might skip some of those.
All right, so we're getting started on this Ultramarines blue onto this Sworn Sword Captain, and we're just gonna hit all of the cloth portions. Pretty nice and easy. Get a good spread.
It's got a good spread.
Got a, got
You've
a
seen
good
that one, right?
spread. Yeah. Of course I've seen that
I
one. That
just
one's
want to
like the
stop an
best.
intruder. I don't want to be doing drywall and shit. He kept saying that. It's got a good spread.
Don't laugh sometimes while you're doing this. You could mess yourself up. Okay, so then we're gonna get like under this armpit back here.
This I don't know how well this shows on camera, but this is looking pretty cool. Especially for like what I think I was going for. It's like a very subtle shimmer. Interesting. Alright, we'll get some Doc Ock's tentacles here. Because usually what I do for the metal parts with these speed paints is I just hit them with the black speed paint, and then I just dry brush them with a little bit of silver or steel or kind of whatever I'm going for. This is a slightly different approach to what I've done previously.
So far on the guy. Here we go.
So how many models you got out at once here? Four?
I have four right now. Pretty basically working on about three of them. The one I'm just not too sure on his color scheme, so I'm not really getting like into him. But like if we end up getting to him tonight, we get to him.
Alright, so we are done with the airbrush. Let's see. We are at 48 minutes when I start cleaning it. Let's see how long it takes me to clean the airbrush. Took Tennessee today in both of my survivor pools, so that sucks. I've never been out week one before.
Tennessee lost.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I mean, I have my fantasy team did absolute trash today. Like I'm talking, I don't even know if I scored 50 points. It was real bad. But I didn't know Tennessee lost. Who'd they
Yeah.
play?
The Giants, they were up like I don't know, 14 nothing at half or 17-3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they lost.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know what their spread was. I think it was pretty good, but
Knocked over my camera. They
my
were
basic game plan
they were
for
given 5.5.
yeah, that's I mean that's a pretty generous number. I took Baltimore today
Mm-hmm.
in Brewers, which at first I was a little nervous about that, but
Yeah, that looked like it was about the safest bet.
yeah,
I was gonna take the Panthers, but I didn't know if that was
your heart told you not to.
yeah.
I mean, really, too, the Panthers wouldn't have been a bad bet. I mean, the Browns, they haven't won an opener in 18 years, they said.
They haven't won an away opener in 28 years.
Right.
Um, they haven't won a opener. It's probably been a long time. It's
I
probably
think they said it was 18. I think I saw it was like 2004 versus the Ravens.
yeah. I would say Baltimore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
against Baltimore.
I can't believe that was the last one.
Hmm.
That's terrible.
It's real bad. They tried to lose today, too, so.
They tried very hard to lose. They really
Damn
dominated
it.
that game,
They
and
dominated that first half, and then that fourth quarter, even. And it was like that fourth quarter. They were just like, they couldn't,
well,
I don't know.
they let
It was
Baker
weird.
Mayfield heat up. Man, he started the
I wouldn't
game.
even.
He ended the game like he was 17 of 20 at one point. Like he started the game like 2 of 7 and then went 17 of 20, something like that. And you're like, yeah, like
Honestly, like I wouldn't even say they let him heat up. It's they blew two coverages and they let him score touchdowns off of them.
mhm.
Like, I mean, obviously he's executing and taking advantage of those blown coverages, but still, it's like, okay, guys, fuck, that's not supposed to be blue. It is now.
All right. Well, if I had a Q-tip, I would be officially done cleaning the airbrush. See, like 4 minutes. But I don't have any Q-tips, but that's okay. All right, now, what time we got here? We got about 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left is the goal of this stream here. So this one here, Lizard, he started being painted with traditional paints, and then I got the contrast paints and kind of attempted to do some weird blend of the two here. Get that camera to focus. And he's just kind of in like this weird middle spot where I didn't lose interest, but I was just like, I wish I would have just either finished him traditional or had never started him traditional. There's a part of me that wants to try to paint Groot in 20 minutes. So that's what we're going to do.
Do it.
So I need a traditional white. It's going to get popped onto a few spots here. Okay. And then this brush is kind of trash. We're just going to... This is a really bad brush. I need something slightly better than that. This one's hard as a rock. That's no bueno. What about you? Nope. Trash. Alright, well, we have packs of new brushes. Maybe our answer's in there. You would hope so, right?
You would think.
Granted, these packs of brushes, you buy the 10 pack and you only use like 2 of them out of there. And then you end up with just like 10 packs of 8 brushes that you don't use.
I've actually found a decent one where I think I can use all of them. Because you're talking about these also. If anybody uses brushes, Fine Touch.
Similar to what I have here. I have... Alright, these are just the really cheap ones I bought off Amazon. Got like 10 of these for like 10 packs of these for just a few dollars.
Right, yeah.
Then,
That totally worth it.
Yep, there you go. Some Fine Touch brushes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I find this set with the orange tips actually pretty good. The only size in it that I'm like, I don't know if I'd ever use is the 6, which at the comical thing is I have used a 6 before for contrast on where it's like, oh, I mean, it's all about the tip, really.
Mm-hmm.
If you can just get that tip in there, it doesn't matter, but
Seriously?
I
Are you 12?
yes. Um but
I'd give you a grown up.
Alright, and then I'm gonna actually just hit real lightly in there and
so we're gonna highlight just a few parts here. That is much bolder than I wanted it to be. Damn it. Cannot find a happy spot here. That's not bad. And we're just gonna highlight a few of these.
not bad for that. Not overly impressed. We're gonna roll with it.
Keep catching myself doing a really bad job of being on camera.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Sworn Sword Captain, and I'm just like, man, he's legit got like 5 colors on him total, and I'm digging it. And with that said, I think I might just try to finish him tonight since he does take so few. All right, so wrapping him up here. So we got most of them done. We're gonna hit this like leather brown part that's in here, like leather. We're gonna hit that with some snake bite leather. We're also gonna hit the straps with snake bite leather and the boots with snake bite leather, and his glove because that is a great color. So all those leathery pieces, snake bite leather.
Did you ever
Then
consider using snakebite leather?
I have considered it.
Okay. This not sure if this brush was the right call for this here. But he's a tree, so if he has parts that come out looking a little funky, it's because he's a damn tree. And then just a little bit there. I think I need to not do that. It's one of them things that like at what point is less more, you know? So I think we're gonna wash that one off. Maybe even try to wash this one away a little bit. Alright. I need my speed paint palette, which is this one. Okay. So, Groot has some yellow parts. There we go. It's kind of inside these cracks, one up on his head. The hell's that one on his head? Oh, okay, I see it. I think that's all these spots that are gonna get this yellow. Part of me feels like I should almost just punch brown over this whole thing and then go back, highlight them spots white, and then give them the yellow. Because there's no way I'm keeping them clean once I put the brown on them. So that's what we're going to do. So we are going to use dark wood because, well, it's wood and Groot's a stump. So I'm Groot.
Your cones.
This could have been people. They were cones, man. You're not really considering any other limo drivers, are you? No. Such a great movie. Anyone wants to put in the comments what movie that's from, go ahead and pause the video now and drop it below, and we'll send you a virtual high five.
Telepathically high five you.
If you can't tell by the quality of our streams, that's all we can afford.
We actually had a great movie weekend this weekend. We watched Casey, which Casey was on board to watch movies, which she never is.
Mm-hmm.
Turned on some 10 Things I Hate About You
Oh
with
wow, Heath Ledger.
yeah, old cake and old school. And then she's like, I want to watch Bring It On. So she found Bring It On, rented it, and we watched Bring It On. such cheesy.
Those late '90s movies though, they just hit different these days.
They do. They really
You
do.
feel
Like it was so
like
cheesy, but as you're watching it, you're just like, yeah, no, I get it. I totally get this movie.
you feel like we've just lost like we've lost something, you know?
Hmm.
And it just movies were allowed to be funny back then. They've lost the right to be funny sometimes anymore.
There, and the thing too is there's no more of those like cheesy teen movies.
No.
Like, and like the thing is if you ever look back on like Rotten Tomatoes, all of those get like a 6.5.
Mhm.
And it's just like, yeah, they're 6.5, and like they totally made money and weren't that bad on release.
Oh, and you're like, yeah, like they're not like a good movie, but they're like I don't know how I don't know how you want to call them. You know, like if you go back and watch like 40 Days and 40 Nights, that's another one. Do you remember that one?
I do not remember that one.
All right, so dude is and if you looked at the cast, it was like that stereotypical like 90s cast that was in a pile of movies and then like you never saw them again.
Hmm.
They're in like the one guy I think he was in like the road trip movies and whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't remember what sparked it, but this dude decides that he's gonna go 40 days and 40 nights without sexual intercourse or self gratification or anything, right?
Oh, I think I remember this one.
And
Yes.
at one point he's like dreaming of like flying through a field of boobs. And by the way, I went to the movie theaters and saw this movie with my grandma. I mean, I would have had to have been like 7 or 8 years old because I'm gonna assume it come out before 2000s.
That's amazing.
Um, but yeah, it was just like you couldn't make that movie today, and it wouldn't even be good if you did.
No.
But
It's almost like I even think back to like American Pie. If they tried to make that today, would it even be any good?
would it
Like, I'm
be
not
any
saying
good?
it would be good,
Like,
but they wouldn't make it.
but like, would
That's
they?
the thing.
Like, I don't even know if the concepts would land these days. You know,
No, they
like
wouldn't.
that coming of age kind of thing. In these days, it's like, like that's lame. Like it doesn't push the envelope any.
Yeah.
Back then that was a little on the edgy side. I mean, when he's having sex with an apple pie on the counter, okay, that part probably ages pretty well. Even today, you
I
could
mean, the whole
if that
the whole
had
movie
never
though.
been done and then you just did it for the first time today, it'd probably be kind of hilarious.
It would
Feels
definitely
like
hit.
warm apple pie.
Um, What color should I do this fool's beard in? Is my question. So I got this is where I'm at.
Mm, is he
He's, he's got a beard.
You don't have any black on the model, do you?
Uh, I do not. I might. I mean, okay. So I have the beard, and then I have the cowl here on the cape. I mean, I could do the cowl in black. I mean, I'm more cool with that. I think.
This dark wood here on Groot, I it's really dark. I wish I would have mixed it with another color or went way heavier on the white. It is very dark. I have used a lot
I'm
of
not.
it.
I'm not doing it. Okay. So I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna make this dude a ginger.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna use some Griffhound orange.
Like I like the way this wood looks, but it is super dark. We might need a bit of a dry brush of a lighter brown on this guy, which that's okay. We've we've had the dry brush on the speed paints before.
Have you used your speed paints to dry brush?
To dry brush? No.
They're actually pretty good. If you ever got any, if you have any of them, the colors that you do like, you can dry brush pretty well with them. I've dry brushed with contrast,
Yeah,
not with.
yeah. See, I don't know how the speed paints would do because they reactivate, which is really great when
Gotcha.
you're trying to blend colors because you can paint it and leave it and come back to it later and put a new color next to it. And like if you're trying to blend from like a dark blue to a light blue or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you highlight well enough before you paint it, it'll do that anyways on its own. So I don't know, but I do wish I would have like went way whiter with this dude before hitting him with the speed paints here, because he is. If you pull the stream up, that other camera looks pretty good. He looks good on there, I guess.
He is looking brown.
He's looking very brown. So these things do dry a little lighter than they go on. So maybe that'll help, and then I'll hit him with a like a almost like a tan dry brush, I think. Because even the parts that I highlighted a pretty heavy white, they're I mean, they weren't kidding when this one's called dark wood. I don't know if I mean, obviously I've never used it to this large of a scale.
Right.
Just use it for like the outside of like shields or stuff like that. But one of the things I was concerned with was painting the model after having just airbrushed it, and that doesn't seem to be a big deal here. So that's cool. I am Groot. You ever see that thing that went around on the internet, and I don't know if it was real or not, who knows, but the writing assignment was to write a paper as if you were a Marvel character. Like you got to pick the character and then write it as if you were them. And someone turned in like 2 pages of I am Groot over and over and over again.
That's amazing.
Yes, yeah. It's like okay,
Give
good,
that person.
yeah, good job, kid. You understood the assignment.
Like to know what that teacher thought.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like
Like I know we would have a
What
teacher.
would Schnetzer have done?
She'd have been probably cool with it,
She'd
I
probably been
think.
cool with it. I mean,
But like, what would like Hanky Spank done?
she might not have been cool with it. All right. Well, here's a Groot, and once he dries, not tonight, but we're going to give him definitely going to get a tan dry brush. So if you look here, if I can get it on camera, the spots on his chest, these little circles. Come on, camera. Or maybe I turned off autofocus. I think it's what it is. Spots on the chest, these little circles are actually pretty light. Those are the spots that I went through and hit with the white because I wanted to because those are going to get the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So those are actually kind of come out light. So I feel like my water cups are empty. very close to it. So the next time I paint a Groot, lol.
All right. I mean, basically got this guy done. Only thing I have yet to do is actually I want to hit all the metallics with some Nuln Oil because that stuff is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, here we go. Let's see if I can
So
alter this.
here is a little bit of everything that I worked on tonight. I think I have autofocus turned off for this. Maybe not. Okay, that's not bad. A little bit of everything that got worked on tonight. Some airbrushing, some hanging out. We'll see how much of this pile of shame I get to before the next time we do one of these streams. But my little cheapo camera. Boom. Oh, hold on. Let me fix. Here's what we'll do. We'll just all right, here. Let's put Dakota's stream on top. There we go.
Oh, as I'm watching that stream, I do see that I'm not actually in. So here's the guy again.
I like the ginger. Is a good call.
Yeah.
Pops with the blue.
Yeah, let's a pop a little bit. And I did so I actually did Space Wolf Gray on his cloak, which it will dry. And I'll probably hit it with a little bit of white on like the tips, so it's like a gray underneath, and then more of like a white, so like a wolfish type of color. So everybody can see him nice and good. But I mean, really, that dude's ready.
Dope.
If I didn't do anything else, he'd be ready, ready to rock and roll.
Hell yeah. I mean, technically Groot could probably hit the tabletop the way that he is, and no one would ever
Mhm.
really notice it.
Right.
But we're gonna finish. Where's my air quotes at? Finish this model here eventually. But all right, anyone check stream out? Thank you. Drop a like and a comment, and all that stuff, and tell your friends, and woohoo. And we'll see you on our next little painting stream.
Thanks for joining us.